because day in and day out we are doing a lot of things, and everything boils down to our body. Everything has to do with our body. So how stressful are you this morning? And this morning we are talking about how stress affects women in particular. And we have here in the studios Ransford Afari, and he's here to tell us everything that we need to know about stress, because I know most of you think stress is normal. You'll be like, oh, I'm stressed, I just need to sleep, and then that is all. But how does prolonged stress affect women? And Ransford is here, like I mentioned. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. That's good to know. So today we are talking about prolonged stress, or how stress affects women. So first of all, I want you to help us understand what stress is. Is it the normal stress that we know, or the normal feeling we have?
Okay, so stress happens to be a decision everyone has to make at a certain point in their life,
Right.
or at any given situation. Okay, stress reminds me of the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Right.
Okay, funnily enough, stress has three reactions: whether to fight it, to run away from it, or to just stare at it. Okay, so the decisions people will have to make based on wherever they find themselves as to whether it's going to be very stressing on their lives, it depends on them.
Right.
We have good stress, which is called eustress, and we have bad stress, which is called distress. Okay, and because we are humans and we all strive to be somebody in the future, we are motivated by certain factors like positive thinking and working hard. Okay, so the eustress is a good stress that wants you to get up in the morning and then push it, okay, just so you'll be able to make it, because I mean the Bible even tells us that there is nothing good in a lazy person. So people strive to do certain things just so they are also recognized in society. In as much as it's not a race, yet we all have like metrics for each ourselves. And if you want to attain certain things, it doesn't come like, it doesn't fall from a tree. Right. So the eustress is the good stress that want or propel you to want to achieve something. And then in that activity comes the bad stress. Because if we were all supposed to have slept and gotten up around 8, we would have had good sleep, But then you got up around 4 just so you'll be in your seat and working hard.
Right.
So stress is not a bad thing, but our lifestyles makes it, unwelcoming, and the decisions sometimes we take does not necessarily inure to our benefits. God in his wisdom created man and then woman, and then he challenged woman to just help the man.
Right.
But what do we see today? Every woman is up and doing.
Right.
And even in our homes, right, it looks as if that the women are even doing more, and the men are rather crossing their legs and playing drafts and watching movies and all that, So a woman who happens to be the weaker sex is rather the one that is actually, accepting or embracing stress. A woman will say yes to everything and only say no to sex or maybe sexual advances.
Right.
And you wonder why, They aren't made like the way we are supposed to. I mean, when you compare a woman to that of a man.
Right.
Men build muscles so they are stronger enough, they can stand challenges, they make or take decisions quicker, and then they move on. But a woman would have to process it because of how hormonal they are made, and then until they are able to achieve whatever it is that they look forward to achieving, they are not okay, So women must acknowledge that they are the weaker sex, and that they, in as much as the body requires that we use our mind and our physical strength to do certain things, we should just set targets that are achievable and not to stress ourselves, or not for them to stress themselves.
Okay. So with regards to what you said, what impact does stress have on the body?
Okay, so if you make the wrong decisions, definitely your body would signal that certain things are not inherent to what you're supposed to achieve. So physically, you would be feeling certain pains and aches in your body. Mentally, you continue to overthink. There will be panic attacks. There will be fear. There will be anxiety, just because you are unable to make right decisions or informed decisions for yourself. So stress is not too good for, especially a woman, when it comes to their emotional well-being, just because a woman is more emotional, like I said, than a man. Right. Okay, so women must take it upon themselves that the decisions they make going forward must be of no difficulty. Okay, if you will learn how to say no to many stresses that are surrounding you, you would rather be the one who will win at the end. People will talk about you. They will say maybe you have changed. But of course, change would be, positive if you take your health in your own hands.
Right.
But if you want to please everybody, if every woman wants to please everybody around them, then they are really going to have a lot of stress on their backs. Okay. Physically, they are going to be in pain. Probably their menstrual cycle probably might be altered, And when hormonally you are in imbalance, you'll never be happy. You're angry all the time. Sometimes you don't even see the essence of life, And when it comes to that point, that is where the depression even comes in. And you're like, what is life worth for, living for? Right. So every woman must be circumspect that, one, they are the weaker sex. Two, in as much as they are required to do certain things for themselves to achieve what they set for themselves, they're not supposed to overdo it. Right. And then when their body is also signaling that it is not well with their body, they should listen. Because this body is the only body you're going to live in or within till the rest of your life. Right. There are a lot of women who probably are living the surface of the earth earlier than what probably God has orchestrated for them, because they can't take it anymore. Look at our domestic hustle. I mean, a woman goes to school, becomes someone in the future, gets married, gets babies, and they don't even want to call for help. They want to do everything themselves. Right. If you have a child or children and your sleep patterns change as against what it used to be before, definitely you're going to be angrier at even your child. Sometimes I see that in my wife's face when, after breastfeeding, she expects that the baby will just, toss and sleep. And the baby wouldn't. And then I have to come in as a father to rock the child, leave my wife to sleep so that she can regain her strength, and then hope that the baby will also sleep afterwards. And for me as a man who have all these muscles, even if I'm rocking the child and the child is still not feeling to sleep, then I get a little irritated, Right. So nobody would want to do certain things that when their bodies are signaling them that they are in pain or they are in discomfort, they just relegate it to the background. Everybody should know that their body is what they have. And so until they answer to the body's request for relaxation, then they will be stressed all the time.
I see. And talking about the example that you made with the mother being angry at the baby, what are some of the emotional signs that also indicate stress?
If women will be truthful to themselves and they would let everybody know what they are experiencing, that would be very good. Okay, a woman with whatever is brewing in her body, her stomach, her guts, will still smile at you, pretending that all is well.
All is well.
Okay, emotionally, or if your inner peace is affected, and you continue to go outside and show everybody all is well, then what are you trying to say? Okay, so the emotional stress are many. We talk of anxiety. They are always afraid at the unknown. You don't even know why they are even panicking over certain things that they probably might not, probably might not even happen. So it is advisable to live in the now, in as much as it's sensible to plan for the future. But why think of tomorrow when tomorrow you are not even there yet? you know. So emotionally, women must just do certain things that would be just the opposite of stress. You know, live life, laugh and laugh and laugh, you know. So when you laugh more, it shows how happy you are. There may be challenges, but of course, you have to laugh through those challenges. And if you frown at those challenges, you might age on rapidly, and then you would look ugly, and then you'd want to maybe go to the, salons to alter your face. When there are ladies, probably 60 or 40 plus, who are still like 16, just because they are able to use their muscles, their facial muscles well. When you smile more, definitely you would be healthier than when you frown more. And whatever it is that every woman is going through, they just have to call for help. You know, I see my wife go through a lot of stress, but when I want to extend hand by letting maybe my mom bring us someone who can really support us physically, then she's like, "Oh, Charlie, Dina will know." I mean, are you thinking about the size of a room while as against the stress you go through? You understand? So, you women just have to admit that at certain points in your physical and mental life, you need help. Not help with a psychiatrist or with a psychologist, but whatever happens in your domestic capacity, if you cannot take it, call for help. I mean, there are a lot of boys around who probably are not doing anything. If it isn't for the fact that they probably might still in your absence,
Right.
they'll be good to do the dishes after you probably might have cooked and stuff like that.
Right.
You see, and when women age, their energy and strength level depletes. You know, so the things that you used to do when you were more of in your early 20s, you couldn't do the same when you are like late 30s.
Right.
You know, so I think that when women have help and they delegate, certain jobs to the people that matters to also support them,
Right.
they will be seen idle, but then they will have their peace of mind. And when they have their peace of mind, they can make sound decisions moving on. But then when they want to condone and then take all the stress because they are the mother of the house, they are the first and the last wife.
I mean, that is normal, right? It is
No.
something that a lot of people do.
Yes, they have so many homes, bigger homes, that is just the husband, the wife, and the children. Of course, maybe a man probably that will be a boyfriend, a boy that probably might be washing the cars and then opening gates, and that's about it. Even these days, they do electronic, and then when the gate is open electronically and the man enters and it's closed,
Right.
that's about it. When it comes to security, they are protected.
You're protected.
But means your child will irritate you,
Right.
so definitely you need help. So that you can also pay attention to your corporate life. When a woman juggles between their domestic
And corporate.
and corporate, oh, they're not cry. Because you have a boss who is also
Right.
setting a certain metric that your body is not inuring to that metric. You have to achieve it. And then when you are paid a certain amount of money, you are supposed to be at work at a certain hour of the day. You're supposed to leave at a certain hour of the day. And then when you come home too, you're supposed to do your responsibility as a wife. Charlie. I pity women who are going through all this.
I see.
They were not created to be over and above or all over the place. Women were created to support.
Right.
So it's more or less like there is a football match, and then the coach in his wisdom selects about like 11 players. Out of the 11 players that is playing the game, he sees weakness in a few. So then we call it substitution.
Right.
And then about 3 players are brought on to do what? To help those that actually started the game.
Right.
A woman is supposed to substitute and help.
Right.
They are not supposed to start the game by itself. So alluding to this sports scenario, every woman must know that even if they want to start the game by themselves, they should also have supporters whom probably might be family or maybe with an agency that probably sees to it that they push helps and maid servants into people's homes,
Right.
and then hope that at their present age they are not doing certain minimal things that they used to be
Used
doing,
to.
so that they can sleep well, get up, be replenished, and then
Right.
make the sound decisions going
Right.
forward.
Okay. But earlier you stated that women don't ask for help when they need help. But it's the same thing with men.
It's our ego. It's our
It's
ego,
our ego.
Yeah, we have issues, but then our reasoning is quite rapid. So we make our decisions and then we move on.
But why do you think women are the weaker ones?
That's how God created us.
But God
Or
did
God
not
created.
state that
No,
women
no.
are weak.
You see, if of all my ribs, is only one that is taken to form you, you you wouldn't be as strong as I am, right?
Okay.
Yes, and I think, funnily enough, the only time a man is weaker, or the weaker sex, is when they are on top of a woman.
Right.
You understand? 2-3 minutes now, you're now wajem. But thereafter, a woman is always the weaker. You can't compare a woman's strength to that of a man. So women must acknowledge their strength capacity.
Capacity.
I mean, women are not even in competition with men physically in any sports.
Right.
There is a women track and field, there is a men track and field.
Right.
It is only probably in a class that you see women trying to achieve, just because the brain has nothing to do with which is bigger or
Right.
which is smaller. So you see women overachieving academically, but when it comes to physicality, no, they don't stand that chance. So women just must acknowledge that, oh, okay, I think that I was made a thinker, because definitely when I'm going to support a man, probably I'll be supporting a man who is shallow-minded. So so when I'm helping a man achieve, it's just certain ideas or concepts that I will bring onto the table for the man to, oh, Eureka, we found it, so let's do this. And then you all both achieve.
Right.
But if a woman is supposed to be doing the thinking and then the physical jobs, then
Right.
definitely there will be a breakdown. And even machines break down.
Right.
Okay, look at all these cars. Sometimes I'll be in my Trotsky or Uber, and I'll be seeing very nice cars in like fitting shops. I'm like, hey, car is what I say. You understand?
Right.
Even machines break down. And when you can't get that part to replace what has caused the car to come to the mechanic, it will be there, and then it will just gather dust.
Right.
Women have departments in their body, all the systems in their body. Once they are created to be more emotional, and they are unable to safeguard that, mental stress, then it will just show on their physical stress. And as beautiful as women are, every man expects that a woman smile even when they don't know them. How dear son papa.
Right.
You understand? Because you people are created to be all smiley, happier all the time, with no stress. Whatever you need is just a phone call away.
Right.
Yesterday I was reading an article that shows that when it comes to Momo sending, it's women that receive money more often. I don't even remember the last time someone sent me money. But let someone call me on this show right now. Oh, Ransford, what you mean? Pa, and then the money goes.
Right.
You understand? Yours is not to do a man's work.
Right.
Yours is just supposed to support and supplement
Right.
as we move on as couples.
But why is it that women are the ones who often experience higher stress levels?
Because of how emotional you people are. Okay? And what should rather make you happy you don't want. I don't know why you probably as a woman will be in competition with another woman. But what we see on our tabloids, everything beauty. If you don't wear that makeup, then what? Wigs. I mean, how expensive are wigs these days? So
Very expensive.
exactly. So if you take your body, mind, and spirit and you want to be a certain type, and you are overstressing to achieve that. Now who cause them? You understand?
Right.
So women are doing so much just to be able to be appreciated in society. Their looks, their academics, they even want to decide whether to marry or not to marry. They even want to, go to spend banks and then have babies without necessarily being someone else's wife. I mean, a woman, I don't know how you people are created, but then you are the cause of your own stress.
Your own stress.
You know.
So you think that it's because of some of the things that we do. So we actually stress our own selves.
Exactly. Stress is a decision you have to make at any given time. So if your body is accumulating stress, it's the decisions you are making.
Right.
For me, everybody knows that, runs for the inferno. And at my age, 47, I'm so happy in life, but I have not achieved and have attained so much.
Right.
Just because I've set a metric that is good for my mind, body, and spirit.
Right.
I'm not saying everybody should do same, but me, I live simpler lives.
Right.
Back in the day that I used to be more of a media person, I recorded, or I took jobs to record funerals. Sometimes funerals of our higher men or public figures in society. And everything that I did back in the day, I realized that, Charlie, upon no scanner when you can't cry or toy and cry, because there are some sayings that, a man will live in his world that when he dies, he should be buried in his car. It doesn't make sense, So why do we try to work so hard, accumulate so much wealth, and not live with it? There are men that I'm working on right now as a massage therapist. And all they say is, Ransford, so we make sure that we receive therapy once every week or each and every day, just so we live longer on earth. Because at the end of the day, if you make decisions to want to buy the most expensive wig, one wants to go to the most fascinating salons, and then you have to maybe transport your body to that distance just because you don't want to be seen going into the salons that are closer to you. I don't get it. You are the reasons why you are stressing, because the decisions that you are making all the time is what you live by. Okay, how come in my community, which is a constituency, where we all vote for one person to maybe lead us in parliament or represent us in parliament, there are saloons, but you live there to someone else's. What difference does it make to move from one location to the other? And then you'll be stuck in traffic, and then you blame you blame the economy for not maybe creating roads. Meanwhile, there was a saloon 10 minutes away from you. So every woman must know that stress is not a curse. There are good stress, there are bad stress, but whatever decision you make going forward is why you would either be in pain, be anxious, or be depressed. And that those decisions you make, you should know that if you are sick, of course, stress amounts to 90% of the disease that we take to the hospital. If you are sick or your body tells you that it is in discomfort, and then you have to go to the hospital and they have to give you many drugs for you to come and take for you to be happy, then you're not doing your body, your mind, and your spirit the best things. Women's stress compared to that of a man is just because of their own thoughts. Women think too much. I think. If you ask me, and their thinking too is not shared. If they would have shared, then they will be brainstorming in a manner that someone might give or drop in an idea for them to have solutions. A woman will want to achieve, and once she wants to achieve, it is herself until she does it. And It's not bad, but if you overdo it, your body will tell you, sister, Charlie, maybe I may call no, may break it down.
Break it down.
And then when they break down, it's in their faces for everybody to
Right.
see. You know,
Right.
stress is stress. Once there are good stresses, you stress that will enable you to work hard and achieve. Work hard, but make your mind day.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when it happens like that, how then does the stress affect the body or women in general? Since we're talking about women.
Okay, for some women, they will age quickly. Okay, and it will show in their face. And then some women, they will be antisocial. They'll feel lonely. They wouldn't want to even come and yoke with their peers, you know. And for some, they will be keeping up appearances. They will be on social media, you know, like contracting photographers to make them look like what they are not, you know. The decisions they continue to make would be whether they want society to see that they are happy whilst they are sad, or to actually be sad and recall and be lonely whilst they are not supposed to. When you are more sociable, you interact, and then when you interact, you learn. You learn
Right.
sense. You understand? Because definitely someone might say something that you might agree to or disagree with, and then you move on. But then if you want to continue to do certain things on your own without necessarily seeking help, if it doesn't work, then what? You know? So at the end of the day, for me, I look at women who are actually mothers and also workers. You know, I think about them more because to juggle between domestic and corporate is not easy. And Ghana is so funny that the ministries is just built in a certain area,
Right.
when in other jurisdictions or countries, it is across town. So in the morning, you see that every car is moving to a certain destination, and then there is traffic.
Right.
And then you, as a woman, you got up early, you know, tended the children for school. You are in your car, albeit the most posh car, yet you are in traffic, stuck in traffic stress, and then you get to work late, or maybe on time, and then you have to start your day without relaxation. So when a woman goes through all this, no, her body was not made to take that.
Right.
And she would have to do this once, she would have to do this every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Right.
And when it comes that they also get relaxation, or it's treatments like massages, walk, maybe go for a swim, no, they prefer to make their face up.
Right.
You know, they choose beauty over over inner peace, you know. Yeah, so I think that every woman must understand that it's time for them to slow down,
Just slow down.
so that they can actually look better and feel better within than on the outside. When you feel better within, then naturally when you smile, it's there. When you laugh and then you are happy, you don't necessarily have to go and tell everybody, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. But when you're happy, you see that your days on earth will be longer.
Will be longer.
When you are stressed, cortisol will continue to cause anxiety, depression, and then before you know, you are not on this earth.
Okay. Does stress affect the heart?
Yes, stress affects all the systems in the body. Cardiovascular, immune, your nervous system. And then when your nervous system shuts down, we say nervous breakdown.
Right.
You know, digestive system, you probably might not eat. Endocrine system, your hormones will not be balanced enough for you to even enjoy your partner. You understand? You see, there are so many systems. Limbic system, your mind is so hot all the time that you can't make good decisions. And the more bad decisions you make, the more stress you become.
Right.
You know, as for the other systems like skeletal, I don't know how stress affects the bone, but definitely if your limbs are weak and you cannot walk from one, you know, point to the other, definitely it probably might be as a result of stress.
Okay.
You know, so your systems and the way they are supposed to function would not be the best when you are stressed. But then when you're up and doing, it's because you are vibrant, you're happy, you're stronger, and maybe you're using your strength well, and you're thinking right. You know, someone I used to watch on social media, they say that adrena nyejuma body nebre. You understand? And these things are phrases or taglines that are true. You know, adrena nyejuma body nebre. In sex therapy, we say the mind or the brain is the first sex organ. Look at where the brain is, and then we say that that is the first sex organ, because even in wanting to have your husband and your mind is not up to it, definitely you say, oh, I'm not in the mood, I'm tired, let me rest. And then that will also cause a certain domestic challenge. And the next thing you see, as a man whose loins requires that he ejaculates 21 times in a month, he will definitely go out. And then when he goes out and then he find out maybe he has a result of some careless lipstick on his shirt, then you're like, oh, you're cheating on me and this, woman. Why art thou so difficult to please yourself? Be calm, slow down, and then make sound decisions. When you are tired, sleep. There are days that you just have to probably give your bosses notice ahead of time that no, the way my body is reacting is unfamiliar. So let me go and check myself. Women would rather rush to salons and look good, but would never go to the hospital to go and have themselves checked.
Right.
You know why? Of all the domestic hassle, the domestic duties, they managing children. And children, Charlie, even at my age, Papa cries, how much more those that don't even know what they're doing? So, tendering the home and making the home peaceable or peaceful require a lot of mental and physical exertions. Mm-hmm. So when we are tired, take a day or two to relax. If you think that your body is not too good, just don't sleep off. Go to the hospitals and have yourself checked.
Right.
Right. You would forget this. And when it's Saturday or Sunday, you know that, on the to-do list, I have to go and see my salon, hairdresser. And,
Right.
First and first, make sure that your inner peace is always there.
Right.
And then the body would just follow the inner peace and look radiant.
Right.
It's not the salons that makes you look radiant. Right. You can look so beautiful, made up, but at the end of the day, if you look that way and you're angrier, we wouldn't have a sane conversation. Right. You understand?
So what strategies can also be employed to alleviate stress?
Strategies. Every woman must know that physically they are the weaker sex. They have to adapt certain lifestyles like walking. You don't have to walk too far though.
Right.
You have to probably maybe join a gym, and you're not supposed to go lift weights. Just go have an aerobic dance. Sweat off, come have a very good bath, and then sleep off. Anything that foster endorphins in your body to, as it were, replenish those lost energies is good. So when you go to the gym and you have an aerobic dance, and then you sweat off, and then you come and then you sleep off, you get your energies back.
Right.
Serotonins, dopamines, oxytocins. Eat some chocolates too as well.
Right.
Okay.
Chocolate is good for stress?
Yes, it is.
Right.
And it's even good for libido.
Right.
Okay. And then talk of libido, make love more.
Right.
You people are created to be loving.
Right.
Love your body, have your energies, restored and rekindled all the time.
Right.
Okay. Once you are hormonal, and of all the stresses and its lifestyles, aforementioned lifestyles that actually help a woman regain their confidence, being sexually happy is the zenith of it all,
right,
or the zenith of them all. Be sexually happy. even if you're not having sex, think it.
Right.
Okay, it's more
You
like
should think it.
yeah, it's more or less like you are imagining it.
I see.
You know, because
Right.
we say during sex therapy that to have sex, you even think it in the morning.
Right.
You know, drop subtle informations like a way of text. Imagine, laugh it out before you actually have the sex.
Right.
You know, so if you thought it through whilst you're working, and then you don't do it, yet your body would have, you know, responded, you know, in a sweet and laughable manner. You know, it's not every intention that you think that you are able to carry out. So when you think of or imagine, you know, being touched by your husband or your boyfriend or whomever it requires that they touch you, and you are imagining it as a form of fantasy, it's better off than thinking the negative. Every positive thinking helps your body.
Right.
So when you exercise and then you get therapy and then you get yourself checked by, a doctor, and you get counseled,
right,
that would be nice, you know, and then be more sociable. Okay, people are now more antisocial because of what people might say.
Right.
When you are afraid of what people might say, it's anxiety in itself.
Right.
Fear is anxiety.
Right.
Why are you afraid of what people might say? And even if they said it or say whatever they say, what is the worst that could happen to you? Me, I don't really care what people say about my life, because I know my life is in God's hands.
Right.
When I live here, I'm indoors. Even though I'm a sex therapist or I'm a sex therapist and I have happy endings, I'm indoors. If you say anything you have to say, go on social media, blast at me and stuff like that, I'm living.
Right.
And once I'm not thinking of the negative incursions that you're trying to throw at me, I'm good.
Right.
Okay. The days are far gone when we used to think of what people say about us.
And because you mentioned chocolate, what are some of the foods that can also help you relieve stress?
I think I'm not a dietitian and I want to maybe pretend as well. But fruits are good.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know, the bananas, the oranges, the sour subs, they are all good for the body.
Right.
Okay. God didn't create this for us to, you know, overburden it with like weight.
A lot of food.
Okay.
Right.
So if we know probably who to talk to when it comes to our dieting, and then we are able to conform to it disciplinarily, we will be fine.
Right.
Because the body systems like the digestive and whatever it is that the body requires to, you know, like turn into energy would be done, and then the rest will pass through your intestines as toxics.
Okay.
We have too much toxin in our body.
Right.
They also inure to the negative effects of stress in our body.
Stress. Okay.
You know.
Right.
So, if you are supposed to go and walk, and prior to maybe the Saturday morning you had ate too much food.
Too much.
People will just walk faster than you.
Right.
And then when you come, it will be better.
You have really educated us a lot today, because we know that sometimes we feel stressed and we feel it, but how much attention do we even pay to it? Some of us, we just feel like it's normal to be stressed because we are working so hard. But I keep telling our viewers that sometimes they also need to take a break. But I'm happy that we've discussed this topic, and I'm hoping that our viewers will take note and they will practice some of the things that you've mentioned in order to help us relieve stress.
Sure.
Because if you are working hard and you're also not paying attention to your system, then you're not doing any good to your body as well.
So
please,
earlier I mentioned the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And there is this funny line that Tuko said. And he happens to be the ugly in the movie. And he said, if you are working for a living, why then do you kill yourself working? Okay. It's good to go to school, maybe get all the degrees to get a good job. But if these jobs you're doing are having some adverse effects on your health, then I think that you will have to maybe sit down and then analyze what is good for you going forward. Because definitely when you know how to think, there could be strategies that you can do to even probably open a business of your own.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I went to school, I became a filmmaker, and I realized that, it was too difficult for me to actually excel because, one, I don't even have the capital or the budget to shoot the contents that I'm writing.
Right.
So years on, then I became a massage therapist. With just shea butter,
Right.
I'm good.
Okay, Ransford, because of time, you would have to give us your final words the next time when you come.
Okay, so there are different kinds of stress.
Right.
The one you choose will show on your face physically and then mentally. Okay, your body is not supposed to your body is not supposed to be overstressed. A little good stress is good for your body, but the bad stress, so if you know that your body is signaling a certain discomfort, get checked by the doctors. And there are lifestyles such as walking and running and swimming, exercising, creating endorphins in your body that would ensure that you have good health and on well-being. If massage is one of those lifestyles, you know where to find me. I'm on social media as Massage by Ransford. And I want to take this opportunity to also thank my clothing, the one that is clothing me, Zagrado Collections, opposite Haptel on the Kokomlemle Joy FM Road. Call them or visit them and then pick any merchandise of your choice. And then when you mention me, they might give you a discount. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that today, if you're a woman and you're watching, or even if you're a man and you're watching, you have been educated enough and you help your women also relieve stress, because stress can be very, very, I almost said stress can be very, very stressful, but yes, stress itself is stressful, and you don't want to be stressed. So make sure that you're paying attention to your stress level, because prolonged stress is not good for you. And that brings us to a close on our well-being segment. Do well to stick and stay with me. I will be back with more.
I'm gonna do my part and make this a positive.